Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do an updated craft room tour for 2018. I did a couple of them last year, so I changed some things around and I've cleaned things and straightened things up a little bit. So I thought I would take you around really quick. Nothing too big on this side. I will just show you what I have, and then we'll show to the other side of the room where I have all of my craft supplies stored and organized, and I've really overdone those a little bit so I can show you what those look like. Up here we made these wooden shelves, and then I decorate them with things that I have made, things that I have collected, or people that I want to remember. That's my friend Anne and her, well, it's not her, it's her favorite flower, and she passed away 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. So I like to remember her and other things. I love pineapples and I love Hawaii. So I kind of store things up there that make me happy and things that I have collected, and there's my husband and my baby, and so I kind of like to keep things up here to make me happy. Same with this shelf up here, books that I like to read but still look pretty. Those are our engagement photos, and actually I made a mistake. That's my friend Anne's poppy. That is a flower from Hawaii. So just other things that just kind of make me happy. So I've decorated those and designed those myself. So then here on the desk, I keep file boxes here to keep our stuff organized. This is more of my current everyday stuff. I need to go through it. This is kind of my job for next week, is to organize this paperwork and kind of sort through that. It's kind of the theme for January for me. I need things straightened up and organized. My kids come in here after school and they drop their paperwork and their homework that they need me to help them work on, and that's what this is, and that's fine for me. Keep it right on my desk where I can see it, where they can see it, and we can work on it together. They're more than welcome to be here at my desk. They do have a side that they can work on over here that I'll show you. So that's their paperwork. I'm a list person, and I'm a notebook person. I really I can't live without my lists. I do a lot of my YouTube scheduling with this cute little 5-day-a-week notebook. That's how often I post videos here on my channel. So this was the perfect little notebook that I found, and I can really schedule out each video and what I need to do for each video. And this notebook, near the end of this notebook here, I get these from Marshall's, and they're my favorite notebooks. You'll see that I have 3 here, I have 3 more up there, and I have more on the shelf over there. This is my favorite kind of notebook. This is just more of my spiritual reading in that notebook. And then here's a date, like a monthly calendar planner kind of book right there. But I am a big list maker. I can't live without my lists. And I've introduced lists to my husband, and now he has his little notebook, and it's fun to see him oh, I remembered to do something today because I have my list and I got to check it off. And he's laughing behind the camera because it's taken a really long time for him to be happy having a list. So I just have lots of little trinkets and things that I can have. I put my ring on that little holder right there sometimes when I'm doing craft projects or whatnot. Flowers always make me happy. Having things on hand easily, not having to go to a bucket right away. I can just pull out things when I need them. Water and I keep my SD cards in this cute little pineapple tray, then I don't lose them. So we've got the silhouette machine on this side along with the printer, and then some more filing. This is an old planner, and then more of those notebooks that I love, and computer paper. I keep little sticky notes ready to use and change out. Here, easy to access, or some stamps if I'm mailing any letters. This is my old computer. My kids can use this computer. I keep this one locked up so they aren't allowed to get on this one, but they can get on here for any school math programs, or if they're going to work on a project and need to write a paper or whatever. They're free to use this one. It is no longer, it's all chock full. I made some mistakes when I started my YouTube channel, and I put a lot of my videos right onto the computer, and so it is maxed out on storage. So I can't use it very much anymore, so the kids have kind of, obtained this one unofficially. I am going to do a video on how to do YouTube videos within iMovie, if you're curious about that, leave a comment below, because I am going to try and do that. I was going to show a friend how to do it. She's like, just create a video for it. So I wanted to like help people understand how to not ruin your computer if you're making any kind of videos. So leave a comment below if you're curious about that and want me to make that kind of a video. And then over here, this is like my, especially my 4-year-old, but my 7-year-old does come over here to color. But I keep cute little notebooks and stickers for her to color with right here. And then she's got her pencil crayon basket that she can kind of carry around with her. She's gonna work on a project out at the table. And then she keeps a little bucket here with all her treasures to color with. So she is able to come over here and color and work when I am working at my desk. She does a lot of her preschool work here, practicing her letters and learning her words. So, and then at this desk here, I have to keep like cleaned off and open a lot of the time after they worked on their little coloring projects. This is where I do a lot of my filming for craft projects and any photos that I have to take for my channel. I keep this table open and easy to pull out. The light from this window is really, really good. So I keep that one open for a lot of the things that I do on my channel. So that's why that one is kind of completely blank. So that's kind of the room in general. I have another video showing how my husband and I cleaned this section out a lot and made this a full wraparound table. This table here is actually an IKEA hack. I will leave that video in a playlist along with all the other craft videos. So let's go to the other side and I'll show you everything that I have on the other side of the room. Okay, on this side of my craft room, this is kind of where all of my stuff is stored. And I've done this craft room tour before on my channel, and I'll put a link to all of the videos that I've done in this video. I'll put it down below and I'll put it in the iCard. But I have done some kind of fixing up and rearranging on these buckets. The biggest thing that I did was I added some papers and added more labels to the buckets that I changed in order to know exactly where things are at. And once I realized that the papers were kind of in order, I'm gonna always want it to be like that. So before I didn't care where buckets got put back, and now I think I might. So, and then on this side, a lot of what's behind these little pictures are books. Here, here I think I have some file boxes with just personal information and things like that. I have Project Life right here that I've never done. So little things like that. So I have a cute little Valentine craft that I want to work on. I got that from my sister for Christmas. But a lot of this has kind of changed. I've reorganized a lot of these sections. It's a lot of just household items. I do have some craft eyelets right here, but I have candles and batteries and electronics. And that one's yarn, and then more electronics down there. But I wanted to have them easier to access and have this area a little bit more opened up to be able to get into those. So I kind of rearranged that little section there. And then I added this washi tape bucket here and a twine bucket. And I just realized that I didn't label this one. This one just has photos that I need to organize and do something with. So I need to label this guy. But I did do a new washi tape bucket here and then a twine bucket. I tend to use twine now more often than I use ribbon. And so I've collected it enough that it got its own bucket. And I use it all the time. And then I have all my washi tapes. Took those out of a jar just because I had to dump them out every time I wanted to use the washi tape. So it didn't make any sense. And then I've got my laminator and lamination sheets that are in here, and my silhouette. I've got vinyl and silhouette mats and some of the tools that are in this bucket. And then in these two, I do a preschool for my daughter. I have to host it once a month or so, sometimes twice a month depending on how many weeks there are. So we're going to use this as her little preschool bucket. It's got letter blocks and her sight words, and then all of her preschool packets that we can kind of work through along with some of the extra coloring tools aside from crayons and whatnot. So that way we can just pull this out when she has preschool and put it away when we're done. Wanted that one to be easy. And then the bucket down here is just more coloring books and artsy things. We can use that one for preschool as well, but we'll kind of just see. So up here we have, and I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me while I say read some of the labels. I have photos that I need to sort through and figure out how to it's like hard to like transition out of doing scrapbooks and using photos into digital books and digital scrapbooking and that kind of thing. I'm not quite sure what to do with my photos. Then I have office supplies. I've done a lot of videos on collecting back to school office supplies during back to school sales, so I stock up on those. Puzzles, I hate puzzles, but my 4-year-old has suddenly loved puzzles, so I'm keeping him here for special times where she can pull them out and play with them. But part of the reason why I don't like puzzles is because the pieces get missing if they're up in the playroom, and then you can't ever finish the puzzle. So keeping it here and keeping it as like a special activity for her to do here at the table with me creates a more structured plaything for her to do. And then I also keep nail polish here in the craft room so that they have to ask permission to use the nail polish. And there's 5 girls in the family, so yes, this bucket is filled with nail polish. So then my craft supply bucket is big and needs to be reorganized a little bit. And I have another bucket up there I'll talk about. I need to redo these and kind of sort through and see if I don't need some things and see if I can just use them quicker. So then nail polish, and then I have punches. I don't use these a ton, so again I might go through these, see if I can donate some. I use this one all the time. I've used this one, but then it's the rest. I might just go ahead and see if I can donate. I don't do a ton of these ones, but they're all in one spot. I have kind of my fabric craft supplies. It's more for decorating for parties. I've got burlap placemats, my little lemon banner that I made, and there's a pineapple banner. So this is a lot of, it's more decoration fabrics that are already done, they're already ready to go. So if I'm hosting a baby shower or a party of any sort and I need to kind of use some different textures, I come to this bucket and see what I got. Then down here I have, this is all of my craft tools, and I distinguish between craft supplies. These are the doodads. These are what, it's the, you know, I'll have to maybe explain that in a different video. But these are the actual tools that I use. It's the glue gun and the glue and the pipe cleaners and the wires and the tapes and the clamps. The actual tools that I use in crafting. If you can keep your tools all in one location so that when you're working on a craft, you don't have to go digging for all of those different tools and trying to find your glue, and if it's kept separate from your gun. I keep them all in one spot. This one is used all the time, so I wanted to make sure I kept that one easy to get to. Then I have spray paint and extra Mod Podge, and in this one down here, sorry, my my curls are getting in my way of seeing. In this bucket here I have cards and envelopes and thank you notes and things like that that I have in here. So then if we're going to a party or anything, baby shower, birthday party, go to that bucket, find a card, write in it, and you're done. And then the bottom one has kind of some extra projects and craft supplies. Like I said, I have this bucket here, my craft supplies bucket, and then this bucket up here that I need to go through. I don't like they're in 3 different buckets, so I think I'm going to try and condense it, gift some of the items that I don't use, and see if I can contain it all into one bucket, because then it's easier to know what I have. And then I have my label maker and my 3-hole punch in here, and then all of the extra cartridges for the label maker are in here. So in this bucket here I have pencils and crayons, and they're in individual pencil boxes. So they've been used before, and they've kind of been this boxes that they've taken to school and then brought home at the end of the year, but they're not unusable. So I just store them up here so that when we have the crayons that are out on the desk, when those ones are all worn through, or the colored pencils are all worn through, I replace them with these ones before I replace them with brand new ones from the office supply bucket. So kind of rotate them through. And then office supplies, again, similar thing to this one. I stock up during back to school and I store them in here, and then we use them throughout the year. Ribbon, self-explanatory. Oh, I have another project bucket. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 that I need to kind of sort through. Maybe we'll do a video on that. I have all my tool paints, all my glitter paints, glitters. All of the painting is in here if I'm working on a project for painting. These are all the paints that my daughters can use and color with. So it's easy to pull out all these paints. And then I have glitter. They're all contained in one little plastic container so that they don't get all over. Someone actually commented and asked why I don't have glitter all over the house with a craft room and 4 girls. It's because I vacuum like 5 times a week. So there is glitters all over sometimes, but we clean it up. And then I do a bag of foam brushes, and then I've got chalk markers that are in here. They could be somewhere else, but I do tend to use those if I'm using chalk paints. And then the other tip that I wanted to kind of show you is that I store my paints upside down in my bucket so that when you go to use them, all the paint's ready to go. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to like tap it down. It's just all ready to use. So that's one of my tips for this bucket. And then one more tip, I kind of subconsciously do it all the time. Because I put the label on the outside of the bucket, I actually, when I'm going to put things away, I feel for that label with my finger so that I know which way it goes in, that I don't have to like waste time with looking at it and whatnot. So one little tip. And then I have kid crafts in this bucket. The kids can work on their little beads or necklaces or the little kits that they get, you know, like the ones from Costco, and I give it to them for their birthdays, and then you break it down from a box. It's like this big into a teeny tiny bag, right? Because it's that much product. So I just kind of keep those kits in there and they can pull those out and work on those projects. And then I have all of my sewing in one bucket. This is everything I would need for sewing when my kids are wanting me to come out and it's time for go to church. But so I've got some other threads, and then my beloved sewing scissors. They're kept in here. They're off limits for all the children. They don't need to be cutting fabric. I cut fabric. Just extra odds and ends. But then when I'm sitting down to sew at the sewing machine or work on stitching something up for the kids, I just have to pull this one bucket out, sew something up, and then I have everything on hand for me to use. In here I've got wood projects that I, can work on. I might go through this one as well, see if I can get rid of some of these. This was from clothespin snowflakes that I did for Christmas a couple years ago. So just some extra wood projects that are in here. That's kind of how I keep everything organized on this side. I have kind of talked about these bins here before. I just barely did a video on these guys. But this is a lot of photos and memorabilia that I need to go through. So I'm trying to keep it here and keep it on my mind to have a motivation to do this. And then it's all of my wood projects that I really do want to work on. So there's my little bike, and this was a Christmas craft that I forgot to do. It says mistletoe, meet me under the mistletoe. It's a lot of craft projects that are bigger chunks of wood that I can use at a later date when I want to work on a fun project. And some of them you'll see here on the channel, and some of them you'll just maybe see on the wall, all done. Alright you guys, I appreciate you coming to watch this video. If you've stuck it out to the end, thank you for watching. I hope you come back for more. I do crafting and cleaning and organization, and we get my family in here every once in a while if we go on a trip or interactions with them. So I hope you come around more often by subscribing and clicking the bell. Then you'll get notified of when I post videos. I post 5 days a week. Random things, whether it's crafting. I'm really into organizing and cleaning the home right now because it's January. But if you catch me later in the year, it'll be crafting and playing outside as the weather gets better. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have a good day. Come back for more. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.